Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Noxro and welcome to a new League of Legends champion guide. In this video, I'm going to cover one of the strongest AD carries at the moment, Miss Fortune. I'm going to quickly touch on her pros and cons, runes, summoners, abilities, and item build. If you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you do want to talk any League of Legends, feel free to join my Discord. Now moving right into our video, we've got the pros and cons, and first up, we have that she's a lane bully. This is because Miss Fortune is a pretty strong champion early on in the game, and she can trade efficiently with pretty much everybody down in the bot lane. She's also a champion that has some high movement speed, which comes from her W. She gains this passively, and after 5 seconds of not taking damage, it increases. It can, however, also be activated to grant the full bonus, and it also gives an attack speed steroid for 4 seconds. She's also a champion that does have an AoE slow ability, and this comes from her E. Use this to slow the enemy so you can kite or chase, or even just land a really strong ultimate. Said ultimate is pretty much why she is also an amazing team fighter. If the enemy team is clumped up and this is positioned well, it can hit all of them and will deal some insane damage. Despite being one of the strongest AD carries at the moment, she does of course still have cons. The first one being that she has no dash or jump. As I mentioned, you do at least have some pretty good movement speed from your W ability, but if somebody gets on top of you, you can't actually jump away. You do of course also have a channeled ultimate, so you have to position yourself very carefully because people are going to try to get on top of you and stop it. Let your teammates engage first, then find your position, and go for your ultimate. For your runes, we have 2 main options, and it's going for Press the Attack or Arcane Comet. Press the Attack is our first really solid option because it's great for trading and works great with a Kraken Slayer build. You get some pretty decent attack speed in this build, which is great for proccing Press the Attack, which does bonus damage and makes the enemy vulnerable. You then follow up by getting Presence of Mind just for a little bit of extra mana regeneration, and Legend Bloodline for some lifesteal. Finish it up by getting Coup de Grace and then go for Magical Footwear and Biscuit Delivery. This will give you just a little bit more movement speed with those magical boots, and of course you get the biscuits to give you some more lane sustain. Arcane Comet on the other hand is great for poking and will work pretty solid with Eclipse. You do of course also have your Make It Rain ability, which is that AoE slow, making the Arcane Comet a lot easier to hit your target. In this tree, make sure you pick up Mana Flow Band just for a bit more regeneration, and Absolute Focus so you deal more damage when you are above 70% health. For the end, you can either go for Scorch or Gathering Storm. I like Scorch myself because it makes you even stronger in the early game, but if you want to be a late game monster, go for Gathering Storm. Either way, after that, just like in the other tree, you want to go into Inspiration and get your boots yet again and Biscuit Delivery. Both of these rune setups can work in different situations, but I would recommend going for Press the Attack and a Kraken Slayer when you are against a tankier team, and Arcane Comet and Eclipse against a squishier one to delete them quickly. For your summoner spells, first up we have the combination of Heal and Flash. Heal is a pretty default pick for an AD carry because of course you are with a partner as well, so it can be used to save both yourself and a teammate. If you're caught in a really sticky situation and your W's movement speed isn't enough, you can even activate your heal for more movement speed. This is a great way to get you away from an assassin or chase a low health enemy if you do need it. Miss Fortune being an AD carry is also a very squishy champion, which is why you basically always take Flash. If you're caught in a bad spot, you can always flash to safety, or if you do need to finish off somebody that's really low health, you can always flash forward. For your second viable setup, you can instead go for Exhaust and yet again Flash. Exhaust is going to be a very solid pickup against assassins or hyper carries. If the support you're paired with wanted to go for Ignite or Heal, or if you just don't trust them with Exhaust, you probably want to pick it up yourself. For Miss Fortune's abilities, we first have your passive, Love Tap. This makes it so whenever Miss Fortune attacks a new target, you will deal bonus physical damage. So the first reason this ability is really solid is because it makes last hitting minions incredibly easy. Every time you are going for a last hit, it is of course a new target, so you're getting all that bonus damage. This makes those basic attacks hit harder than most AD carries out there, so if you are somebody that struggles at farming, this makes it pretty simple for you. This is great for trading as well because in between those last hits you can attack the enemy and it will deal bonus damage. Your next ability is your Q, which is called Double Up. This is a bouncing shot that deals physical damage to its target and the one behind it. The second shot can critically strike and always does if it kills its primary target. This is another solid tool for farming because you are able to kill 2 minions at the same time. If you're able to kill a minion with it and you hit an enemy champion with that bounce shot, it can do incredible damage. Throughout the lane phase, you do want to try to position the enemy champion behind minions because if you get those bounce shots, you're going to easily win the lane phase. It can add some pretty nice damage in quick trades as well. If you are just auto attacking, you may as well add a Q in there as well to deal some bonus damage. Next we have her W ability, Strut. This will grant you passive movement speed which increases after 5 seconds. The full movement speed will be granted whenever activated, as well as bonus attack speed for 4 seconds. This is a really solid ability just even passively. You'll be able to make it to your lane quicker or just even objectives or team fights. You can then activate it if you do need that extra movement speed to kite enemies or even chase them. In teamfights or trades, you do get that bonus attack speed as well, which can be very effective, especially if you press the attack. Then of course we have your E ability, Make It Rain. This is an AoE ability that reveals the area and deals magic damage over 2 seconds while also slowing enemies. This is a really strong slow that will help allow you to chase or kite enemies. Its best use, however, is when combined with your ultimate. You can drop this on your enemies, which will of course slow them and help hold them into your bullet time so you get more waves off and hopefully just one-shot them. You may end up going for a Serelda's anyways, which does add a slow onto abilities, but until you get that, Make It Rain is a great way to help hold people in your bullet time. And that leaves us with their ultimate, which is, as you probably guessed it, bullet time. This ability, when activated, channels a barrage of bullets over 3 seconds that deals physical damage. Each of these waves can critically strike for 120% damage. This is a devastating AoE ultimate that can wipe an entire team and is one of the main reasons Miss Fortune is one of the best AD carries at the moment. You can be down literally the whole game, but a well-placed ultimate in the late game after you've farmed can completely change a game. Keep in mind, however, you don't have a ton of mobility outside of that little bit of passive from your W, so you need to position yourself very carefully and then activate your ultimate after your team has engaged. Now, as for your item build, you pretty much always want to start with a Doran's Blade and a health potion. In rare situations, you could go for a Doran's Shield if you were really scared against something like a Draven and something else pokey, but you pretty much always want to go for the Doran's Blade. You'll then want to pretty much pick if you're going to go for the Kraken Slayer or the Eclipse. Of course, Galeforce can work in situations as well, but usually it'll be a Kraken Slayer or an Eclipse. First, we're going to look at the Kraken Slayer build, and this is the build you pretty much always want to go for if you are against a pretty tanky team. It has a nice chunk of attack speed on it, so it's great for proccing your press the attack, and of course it has the shred as well on tanks. You'll then want to move into the Collector second to proc the execute and add more crit and damage. It's a great item to help you finish off those low health targets to get yourself snowballing. Then finish up your core by picking up Infinity Edge for increased damage and crit, and of course you will be sitting at 60% with this item as well, so you will get that 35% increased crit damage. After you have these 3 items, you can then get some lifesteal with something like a Bloodthirster and some armor penetration with a Lord Dominic's Regard. Those of course are just 2 examples, but you do want to pick up your 3 core items and then go from there. Now, as for your lethality build, of course you start with Eclipse. This is great against squishier teams since you'll have a fair amount of lethality and can proc extra damage, get movement speed, and also a shield. This makes it a really good build for dueling people, and if you are fed enough, you can even 1v1 assassins no problem. After that, you pretty much always want to go into a Yumu's Ghostblade second for added lethality, damage, and of course you can activate it for movement speed as well. This is going to make it so Miss Fortune is zoom in all over the map and you can get wherever the hell you need really quickly. I then like to finish up that core build with Serelda's because you will get some ability haste allowing you to use your ultimate even more, and of course it has the armor penetration and 30% slow on your ultimate. Therefore, if you do miss your Make It Rain or if the enemies are more spread apart, you can still slow them with your ultimate. After this core build, you could follow it up with more lethality like an Edge of Night, a defensive like Guardian Angel, or add some more lifesteal even though you do have the Omnivamp from an Eclipse already. I did actually forget to mention boots as well. You pretty much always want to pick them up after your first core item. You'll pretty much always go for Berserker Greaves, but against assassins and things like that, you may want to get plated steel caps. And that covers everything I've got for Miss Fortune in this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe and let me know what you thought down in the comments below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking with me through the video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, have a good day, and peace.